Good morning, sir.
Good morning. So we will just go with the concept, whatever we have discussed. I hope all of your exams went on well, and we'll just go ahead with the new concepts, that is IoT with respect to certain case studies. So here, as per your curriculum, we are going to discuss on the agricultural IoT. So as you know that we have discussed on many scenarios before also based on the agriculture deployment of nodes and collecting the information from those respective sensors and those things. So that little bit in detail we will discuss, and we will also try to do some innovative projects, whatever you have. Some of you have taken up projects on agriculture based also, so that you can just put it here when we have the physical classes over there in the classroom. So you can bring those projects and we'll have the discussions there as well. So we know that agriculture plays a major role in day-to-day basis, and any nation or anybody who is associated with this, we first give priority for agriculture, and it is that nowadays the amount of land what is available is less, and the productivity has to be more. Um, so it is very important for us to make sure that increase the productivity with the minimum resources available. So that is what the basic things are going on as of now. And considering this into priority, so IoT plays a major role in improvising this process. And we also come to know that how best you can come out with the crop productivity and generate the revenue, and which can also benefit the farmers in all the aspects, and it will also make sure that nobody is having means the country is out of starvation as well. So it plays a major role when you see with respect to agriculture. So being an engineer, it becomes your responsibility to put your efforts to make these kind of fields to the maximum extent, to make sure that you bring out something innovative and it help the society in any of the aspects. Being an engineer, it is very important for you to do that. So have to understand the very minimum requirements what to enhance your knowledge in this field, we will just go in brief the agricultural IoT, and where it is widely used for increasing the crop productivity and sufficient revenue, and it also helps us to have an efficient farming process. Like you can say that, see, generating tons of crop in a very huge land, it's not that we can say it is efficient and productive, but in a small piece of land you are generating a huge amount of crop, and you are trying to get sufficient yield out of it. And it is possible only when you monitor the land from the beginning till the end, and you make sure that if any problem occurs you rectify that. You have to monitor in a very detailed manner. So to monitor and emphasize on all these things, it is very important to implement the technology into the agricultural land and make sure that you are having every bit of information, and you can predict. The prediction is also very important, so you have to predict that what happens next, so what can be done at this point of time, so that you can improvise the things in the later stages. So that's why IoT plays a major role in these fields. And you can also say that the crop, how the health of the crop is there, what is the water management process it is taking place, whether the land is dry or it is too much flooded with water, or what is the crop security wise, like whether the birds are attacking the crop, or there are some other insects or animals which are going to attack the process and destroy the entire thing. So you might have seen that, you might have heard also that where the some of the fields will be there very close to the forest and all. So what happens is some of the wild animals move on to the agricultural land and they destroy the entire crop within a day or two. So it's helps you to monitor all this process, and you can have a very good um engineering viewpoint or a technical viewpoint, so that you can make a proper systematic process which helps the farmers to come out with a very good productivity without investment of too much, or with proper monitoring of the entire process. So it's your responsibility, in fact I can say that, to society, to support the society and come out with some projects which is existing, you can renovate it, or which your young minds might come out with something good, innovative projects which we have never thought about it. So it is that you have to change your way of thinking and make sure that some innovative projects concepts helps the society, and in fact it helps the agricultural products and agricultural land to get the good productivity. So we have to see that how the pesticides are sprayed, whether when you spray the pesticides, what is the impact it is going to create. You need to study all these things. So it might need you, if you take a one agricultural crop like paddy, you may need maybe 6 months of cumulative data to analyze that how the productivity of paddy is all about. And okay, this 6 months you found that these are the problems it is happening with that plant, and if you do some different scenarios, you take different scenarios, these things can be overcome, and that is your role as a citizens of any country. Okay, so that is very important. And in this agricultural system, you can say that we deploy many different sensors. So you also know that the technology is improved a lot, and which is nowadays helping us to monitor any instance without any much difficulty. So it is that you can try in a small land of yours also, and you have to implement, so that uh, if you can show an example in your village, that will be okay, that can motivate others also to do the same. So that's all what you have to think about. So the deployment of sensors and all those things, you can do it, and you can monitor the entire process. You can accumulate the information, do it in the practical scenario, check out the entire process for 6 months. What innovative things can be put forward? How the centralized entities like servers, clouds, and fog devices can be implemented in order to make use of that. The productivity of the entire country can be improved further, and you can bring your country forward in the entire world. So that should be your motive. And this IoT, understanding the IoT and implementing these concepts, whatever you have learned, helps you to bring you forward. And when you come forward, your nation, your state, your country, your village, everything comes ahead. So that's the focus you have to, and you try implementing a small concept also, whatever it is available with you, what knowledge you have, and you can capitalize these things in the further days. So this is what the sensors and whatever we have taken agriculture land in many scenarios before also. So let us just see what basically it is all about. So you can see that the basic agriculture of an architecture of an agricultural IoT is that you can see that many sensors will be deployed in the agriculture farmland. Like if you are having a very huge agricultural land, and your requirement is, for example, you noticed in the last year that because of the variations in the humidity, pressure, or temperature, or you can say that water content or fertility mismatch, you found that the crop productivity was not that much. And see, the effort you put in and the results you get was very little. So what you have thought is, this time, okay, let me try with some deployment of sensors, and you went with certain sensors which has affected the growth of the plant in the last year. So you deployed some sensors and you found that, okay, you are going to monitor the sense values of all the sensing parameters day-to-day basis, and you come to an analysis process that when you did the survey, you found that because of this concept, because of the too much of water being pumped to the land, the productivity has dropped down, or because of the lack of nitrogen or facility, means the land is lacking with some nutrition things and all. That's why the crop is not able to grow to that extent, or whatever, like fertilizers is minimum or fertilizers is too much. So see, if anything is too much also, it is going to impact. It is too less also, it isn't going to impact. So you have to optimize the process and you have to come out with a optimum set of solution, so that you get the maximum productivity. And you know that we are all working together to capitalize the maximum productivity of the crop. So it's very important for us to understand what best you can do it in this field, so that which are the sensors which you have to implement, that you have to have a proper study on those things. And you also have to understand that how best the productivity can be improved, which parameters plays a major role in improving the productivity. All these things we have to consider. So that's the reason why we go ahead with all this process. And you can see in the figure, that the sensors like A, B, C, D sensors have been deployed. So let us consider that these sensors are going to measure the fertility parameter of the land, as well as these sensors are going to measure the pH content, or you are going to measure the temperature, or it can be the whatever parameters the farmland is in need of. Like for example, some crops demand some parameters, and some other crops, it depends on the crop as well. So some of them, some of the crops doesn't matter that if some of the nutrient contents are less, still it will grow further in a very systematic way. So but some are very delicate, and you need to supply the sufficient amount of nutrients and all those things. So it matters for you. That's the reason we have to set up the sensors as and when, or do you say deployment of sensors. So we are going to deploy the sensors as per the need of the individual. So like last time we have taken an example of Prem doing something with his land. So similarly, you can just plan according to your requirement, and we can emphasize on those things. Then whatever information you are going to collect from these sensors, see, analysis of the information plays a major role. See, you collect some information and you just leave it like that, it's of no use. So you need to make sure that you have to do a comparative analysis, you have to do an analytical study, you have to take each parameter into consideration, and you have to make sure that what is the improvements you have done for, compared to the last time. When you improve the fertility, whether it has impacted you, all those things you have to be very much clear with it. Just a minute. So so this is what we really look into, and we also make sure that all these things informations are passed on to the cloud infrastructure facility, and it is taken care further for more improved analysis and all those process. Then you can take this information to your devices, like it can be your laptop or a mobile phone. Then you can have an user friendly app where you can record all the informations of day-to-day basis, and you see that when you use the fertilizers, or you use the pesticides, or you use some other process in the land, how it is, what is the impact the crop is doing, means creating day by day basis. So you do a study for almost 90 to 180 days, and you come to a conclusion that okay, this is what it has impacted, and this is what the sensors has given the readings for this 6 months of time. So what you can do it further for the next 6 months of time, you can plan yourself, and it gradually makes sure that, see, if first year you were having the productivity of 1 ton of rice, then you feel that when you do the implement of sensors, the same land gives you productivity of 1.5 tons of rice crop. So means rice, you can do it. So that's what slowly and finally it reaches to the peak that further you are unable to do, and you have to just maintain it for a duration of time. So that is what the basic requirements of implementing all these sensors, and you can monitor and implement, make sure that your productivity is to the maximum at every instant of time. Then we can see that certain components of an agricultural IoT. Basically, you can say that agricultural IoTs help the crop productivity, and it also reduces the overhead cost of the entire process. See, simply putting manure or pesticides, which is not relevant to that plant, and you are wasting your money. Why, if you know the entire analysis of that, you don't have, if already the fertility, the land is fertile, it's not required for you to again put the same thing there. So you can think of something else where the productivity can be maximized. So that's the reason we go for the analytical study, or the we use nowadays the drone process of means the drones are used either for the pesticide purpose, or to have the fertility content, to monitor the fertility content, or if the plants are going affected with any certain particular diseases or anything, they can take the pictures, and they can do the analysis through with the help of all the infrastructure facilities, whatever as of now it is too much available in cloud computing, and all those facilities are available. So we can do a on shot, you will get the results in front of you. So you don't have to go there and keep tracking the products or keep tracking the plans. It happens by itself. Or if you are not interested for an automatic process, even you can go for a manual process where you take the pictures and you do a comparative study and you form the analytical part of it. So this is very important, and handheld devices are also very much friendly to you nowadays. You know that the technology has improved so high that all the facilities are available within your fingertips. So so wireless connectivity is also very good nowadays, and all with the help of all these things, you can set up a very good infrastructure facility, means to monitor the entire crop productivity. So this some of you can, as I have told you, to enhance your project to the next level. So you can use this kind of processes to check out that how you move on to the next level by improving your project, whatever you have done in the first level of HOTS assignment. So that's what we can do it. Then all these things, if you have if you have not noticed, please see that these things are being implemented in many of the places, and see how they have done it, and what best you can do further to improve these technologies and take up this further, which helps really. See, even the government is ready to fund crores together for the agricultural products and agricultural. There are many subsidies given. Any startup you are going to go for it, you'll be getting many facilities for you to do the startup in the field of agriculture. So that is very important for us to understand. So these are some of the things you can see in the figure. We have camera, sensors, cloud computing infrastructure facilities, drone facilities, then wireless connectivity analysis has to be done, then satellite process of monitoring is there, camera can be used, handheld devices can be used. So these are all the facilities what an individual can utilize in order to monitor the crop productivity of the entire farmland. So if you are into this kind of startup and all, you are going to be benefited in many aspects. Okay. So further moving on to different components, whatever we have focused on, we have cloud computing, first one. So where we can see that when we have studied in the module 3 cloud computing and in module 4 in detail about how the cloud computing has to be carried out and what are the basic requirements we have to look into. So cloud computing, the sensors such as camera devices to measure the soil moisture, as I have discussed before as well, soil humidity, soil pH level, plays a major role in different agricultural applications. So these sensors can produce a huge amount of agricultural data that is needed to be analyzed. And these, whatever the analysis you are going to do, the data analysis and what action need to be taken, we can means the see the nowadays the technology has improved in that level that it will give you the suggestions that by all the data whatever it is going to collect from the land or from the agricultural field. So it is going, the computer or the system itself is going to give you the feedback saying that this is what the crop is in need of. So to that level, the machine learning technologies have come up, and all these things have come up, which gives you the straightforward decision that this is what the crop is in need of, and you are required to monitor these things in further process. So, so you have to just do those things, and you have to make sure that the accuracy can be improved to the maximum extent, and such as switching on the water pump for irrigation and all these things plays a major role. As I told you, water content more is also not good, less is also not good. So you have to make sure that what is required, water or minerals or pesticides, whatever it is required for that, it should be optimum usage has to be there. So if you are using the optimum usage of water and resources, what two ways the farmer will get benefited. One is he is not uh, wasting unnecessary resources, and second thing is that he can save his amount in or funds can be utilized in a better way, that he can optimize the entire process and utilize the fund resources in a better manner. And the agriculture data analysis and storage, all this plays a major role with the help of cloud computing, and cloud computing plays very critical role with respect to the data handling and processing of information and all those things. So that is what we have also studied in detail in the previous modules as well. Sensors also one of the key parameter of or key component of agricultural IoT, where you can see that different types of sensors are used in the IoT applications. And these sensors are the major backbone for the IoT applications. You can say the agricultural IoT applications plays a major role where these components can be put in a very proper manner, and you can make sure that the sensors use this agriculture uh, means agricultural land to be very much precise with respect to soil moisture, humidity, water level, temperature, fertility content. All those things make these sensors will make sure that it is as designed for a very means what is required for the crop, it is available in that land for it to develop. Okay. So you can also observe that we have GKVK and all very close by for us. You can see that these IoT implementation and all those things they have done there, and they have made sure that each point to point monitoring is done. They say that these are the things which can be done for the future, for improvising the productivity of the crops. So you get all these sensors, cloud computing. You can say that cameras also plays a major role. Where what we do is we connect these cameras to the drone, and we make sure that the proper images are taken of the agricultural land, and we make sure that the commonly the RGB cameras are commonly used for the agricultural IoT process, and which can estimate the nitrogen status. See, you know that nitrogen plays a major role in the development of any crop. So that it gives the status, then thermal status, water stress, and crop damage. All those things can be viewed with the help of camera, and video cameras are used for even crop security also. So these are some of the major things what we come across in order to monitor the crop productivity and all. Then see, nowadays the satellite technology also, satellites are precise, and they give very accurate results. So the modern the government is investing a lot of funds for getting the satellite connectivity, where the agricultural precision can be measured at very systematic way, and even government will come to know that whether this land, whether how much amount of land is being utilized for the purpose of agriculture, and is there any unnecessary taking, means the land is being means used for some other purpose. So all those things can be monitored with the help of satellites, and they come to know that whether the any cyclones or any other calamities are going to happen, which can be intimated to the farmers far in, means ahead of time. So those things are used to extract the information. Also, whatever information is there in the farm field can be extracted, and it can be appropriately utilized for further process. Then satellite images can be used for agricultural applications and monitoring. So these all things you know better than what we you have been seeing this from quite a long time, and you only have to just try this out in the real time scenario, and make sure that the dry zones accessing, or it can be the crop production, crop health, crop monitoring, all those things can be utilized to the best extent possible for the improving the productivity of the land. So we have seen these parameters like cloud computing, sensors, cameras, satellites. We also it doesn't make any sense if you are just collecting the information. It is very important for us to analyze the information. So analysis of the entire modern agriculture process is very important, and it plays a massive role in productivity of the fields, and it's very much helpful for us. So with the help of analysis, we can say that farmers can take different agricultural decisions, and it can estimate the required amount of fertilizers and water required for the agricultural field. All those things we have already discussed, and you know that analysis of the entire place plays a major role, and making appropriate decisions at the specific interval of time. And data analysis can also be used for estimating the crop demand in the market. So now you can, if you're doing a proper analysis, you may see that some of the, for example, if you take the case of tomatoes and all, some season it will be very high, some season it will be low. If you take a banana or any mango or any of the crops, you can see that at particular seasons the crop demand will be less, and a certain period of time the crop demand will be more. So it will also, when you're doing the analysis, it will also give a market analysis, market study, whether see this is the some of the spices are like you can see those play huge deviation in the cost will be, you can notice those things. So it's very important for us to analyze the system, analyze the crop productivity, and support the farmers, stating that this is the time where the market is going to hit, and you can produce more number of products at that point of time. Like if you are able to estimate somewhere around 6 months prior or 6 months before information today, so the farmers can make sure that they get the most benefited. So these are all some of the contributions what being an engineer or studying into these technologies and techniques you can help the uh, means help the nation or the farmers, and they can come out successful in many of the aspects. So wireless connectivity is one of the main component of agriculture, and IoT is the connectivity establishment, and how the information transfer can be done. All this plays a major role and enables the transmission of the agriculture sensor data from the field to the cloud or server and all those things. So it also enables the farmers to access the various application services, and it also helps the wireless connectivity for communication with cloud or server. So this we have seen how the data has to be collected, how the information has to be transferred, what the analysis plays, what is the role of analysis of the entire information, how the wireless connectivity can be monitored. And we also have to understand that these handheld devices, like nowadays e-agriculture has become very much popular, and you might have all heard about e-agriculture, where the handheld devices plays a major role, like smartphones and the devices which can monitor in your day-to-day basis. So farmers can access the different agricultural information such as soil, crop conditions, and all, and market trend, market strategy, market process, where the farmer will get the different field equipments, field such as pumps and all those things. Means he can switch on the devices being in any point of time. See, before and all, you have to go to the farmland and switch on your motor and all those things for pumping the water and all. It's not like that. So he can be anywhere and he can switch on that. So e-agriculture plays a major role as of date, and you can make sure that all this happens within your fingertips. So that is the advantage. Even you have drone connectivity, you can monitor the drone. Not It's not necessary that you have to be there in that place, and you can monitor the entire scenario being almost 100 to 200 kilometers away. So that is the advantage. You can give the command, you can have the surveillance of the entire field, you can make sure that what is the health of the plant, what is the productivity, all this photographic and agricultural land, how things goes on. And we can also monitor that drone imaging is an alternative to satellite imaging of agricultural products also. So overall, what impact it creates is a huge, that the facilities are available huge as of now, and the technology has improved in such a way that everything can be monitored at any point of time, so that it helps the crop monitoring and pesticide spraying, irrigation. All those things can be controlled within your hand, with the help of handheld devices, and with the help of drones everything can be monitored. And you also have the some of the farmlands, they even use the robotic system, where even the crop yield can be monitored. They all will be automated, that nothing you have to involve in it. So you can just leave as it is once you design the entire system, and it takes care of itself. So that is the level of technology that it has come as of today, and it's going very drastically super, that the productivity is also improving, and that's the reason we are able to feed thousands of people as of today. So with this today we will wind up, and we will get back to you in the process further in the upcoming classes on Monday. So thanks for all for joining today, and we'll stop it now. Okay, thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Shiv.